Great, there we go. So as Emily said, I am Hannah. I work as part of our change team here at LPPA under the programme that Joe just mentioned, so the ESIP programme. So I'm a project manager here and I mainly work on the portals. That's sort of my main job role. So I thought it would be good to come to you today and speak about the changes we've made, what we're looking at for future, and sort of just maybe a little session at the end to find out if you have any feedback that we could take forward. So, as Jo mentioned, she sort of spoke about the move over to UPM. So it was 2021 when we here at LPPA made the decision to move over to UPM. And our first clients went live in January of 2022, which feels like a lifetime ago now, I think, and I can imagine it does for you lot as well. So we made the move for the following reasons. So it's simple, more efficient processes, improved functionality and increased self-service for employers and members. As it says there, the Employer Portal was introduced in January of 2022, with all employers live on this by the end of 2022. So as Jo did mention before, it takes a lot of work. We sort of had the basic version of the Employer Portal, and now our aim is to build on that and increase the functionality for yourselves, increase the things you can do on there, reporting, things like that, and also the usability, so making it easy for you guys to use. So that is a big aim of ours here on the change team. So as I said before, part of my role is to work to improve the portals. So that includes the UPM Employer Portal and Pension Point as well, so the member portal. So I work really closely with both teams, so the engagement team in particular, listening to the sort of the feedback they get on the daily basis from you guys, to create a big list and a plan of the improvements that we can make onto the portals. Obviously, we are working on these things and these things do take time, but we're trying to sort of prioritise the things that we feel have been requested the most and move forward with these onto the portal, so implementing them with our supplier, which has been working well so far. So I thought I would just go through a few of the ones that we have implemented that sort of you guys will see on the front end, and then I will take you through an improvement we've made to Pension Point that would be good to increase sort of registration volumes with your members, and then I will have a quick debrief on what's next. So there is the Employer Portal, something that you will all recognise and use, I can imagine, on a daily basis. So it does, I can imagine, take a lot of your time on there. So the first thing that we introduced this year sort of on our roadmap was employer estimates. This would be the functionality to get onto the portal, fill in the details and then instantly get the quote instead of filling in an estimate request form. So now this functionality is available for all LG employers, and you are able to go onto the portal and run instant estimates. So we've got normal, redundancy and efficiency and ill health retirement at all 3 tiers. So that you can run it on all of those types of retirement. A member and employer copy will be produced on the member's record. So we did some work on that to ensure that had everything on there that you needed to give to your members, and obviously a copy for yourself, maybe including some extra details. So why did we make this change? Instant estimate results provided, that is a benefit for us, I feel, so you don't have to fill in the form, wait for the SLA to be received, you just have that information there instantly. It's a simpler form to complete, it's just a few boxes for us that runs the quote. On our side, obviously it does pull from the data on our system as well, but it's handy for you to be able to run that instantly and just fill in that quick form, and then it gives you the documents to provide for the member. So that is employer estimates. We are monitoring sort of how many people are using that functionality, how much time it's saving for you guys filling in the forms, and it does seem to be that feature is getting used well, and we've had some really good feedback on that, so I hope you all feel the same about that one, that's a big improvement for you guys. And then we introduced viewing submitted forms. So previously, I think on the old systems, when there was a form submitted, you could have a copy of that. When we moved on to the UPM Employer Portal, sorry, that wasn't something that was readily available at the beginning, and that needed quite a lot of configuration from our side. So there was no way to check if your form had been submitted successfully. Our engagement team were getting quite a lot of questions to ask if the form had gone through. So we had a look at the viewing submitted forms. So now this form is viewable on the member's record after submission. All forms are available to be viewed, so we ensured that it was a catch-all. There was no forms left out of that. So that included joiner form, estimate request, change of hours. With the joiner form, just an FYI, once that record is created on our side, that's when the form will be able to be viewed on that portal. So why did we make this change? Again, it was a highly requested change from yourselves. We've really been looking at the feedback from you guys, a lot of questions, and I think it was it's really good to have that record of the forms that you've submitted potentially for your audit. If you want to have a printout of that, things like that, it's really handy for you there. So that's why we introduced that one. And then the final one that I will go through today that we have introduced is the exporting the monthly return errors. So I think we were getting a lot of feedback, and obviously with moving to monthly returns, it's a new process for a lot of employers and a new system, and there was quite a lot of errors coming out of the back of those reports at stage 2, which meant yourselves could not get the file through. This could be pages and pages of errors, and I appreciate that on the system it can be quite hard to work through that, working off your spreadsheet, going back to there. So our engagement team came up with the idea of having a report that's flagged at stage 2, which can be run under the SSRS reports tab, which shows all the errors with the submission, which tells you, I think, the line, the issue, the data that was there. So we made sure that that was implemented. So you can run that when you are at stage 2 in the process. So if you just come out of the process and go to your SSRS reports, have a look on there, and it means you can sort of roll your file back, take it offline and compare the two, making it a little bit easier instead of having to fix everything within the system, which can be a little clunky. And I think being able to re-upload is an easier way to get through this. As it says there at the bottom, we made the change because you're struggling to manage sort of the large amount of errors on multiple pages. I appreciate that some of you are very large employers and have a lot of members under the monthly return file, which was making it sort of unmanageable. It's therefore a smoother process for rolling back and re-uploading. It can be managed via the monthly return spreadsheet. So we feel like this has been a really good change, and again, I've had some good feedback on this one, that it's sort of making things a little bit easier. So hopefully, if you weren't aware of this report before today, this will be a handy one for you moving forward with your monthly returns. So then I thought it would be good to tell you about the change we've made on the Pension Point portal. We are looking at various things on this portal to make it better for our members. I hope that you've all been able to register if you do have an account yourselves, and also sort of your members are aware of this. So to go over one of the changes that we implemented was service history. So a survey was run on Pension Point to ask members for what they felt would be of most value to be added to the portal. So we really wanted to take into account what the members want rather than what we think the members want. So we made sure to do that survey. So as a result of this survey, we made the decision internally to add service history, transfer details and care history onto Pension Point. This is now available for all active and deferred members. Originally it was just active whilst we made sure that the concept is working, and now we've added the deferred members onto there as well. So why did we make this change? As it says there, we were acting on member feedback. It was one of the top survey responses. We do have a list still of what those survey responses came out with, and they are sort of managed by us internally to make a roadmap of where we're going to go next with those changes. It also improves member self-serve functionality. So if they are concerned that the transfer hasn't gone through, or they want to see the transfer history, or any service that they've previously got if people sort of have moved around roles or changed hours and things like that, that will all now be on the service history page. We were getting a lot of calls to the help desk, asking about sort of where they could view the service, what the service looked like. So to improve that self-service piece, we made sure it was added onto here. It is a really good web page. I think the comms team did a lot of work on the history pages explained. So on there, that gives you all the details you need regarding any of the service history, what things mean, because there is some sort of codes on there to say what kind of service it is, but everything is really good in that history pages explained part there. So what is next for us here at LPPA? So we're continuing to listen to your feedback, so employer and member feedback, to make further improvements to the portals. We appreciate it can be a little hard work, the employer portal at points, and we're really working to improve that usability for you. So potential new improvements include, obviously these are subject to change, and we will add a lot more things onto here, but just as sort of a snapshot, we want some further reporting functionality. We feel like it will be handy for you guys to have some more self-serve reports, including things like being able to see which of your members are registered to Pension Point, sort of drive registrations, so they are able to go on there and run their own estimates and things like that. So that could take some demand away from yourselves if you're able to push that with your members, some comms on the on what is available on Pension Point as well. And then improvements to the employer work feed and queries. That is a big piece of work that I think we get a lot of feedback on in terms of the work feed and answering queries. Rest assured, we are looking at that with our supplier and sort of doing some planning internally to try and improve that for you all. So that is a quick sort of whistle-stop tour of the portals project. We're continuing to work on it, and it's not something that's going to be sort of slowed down. We'll be ramping up the functionality. So that is it from me. If there are any questions, I'm more than happy to take them now.